Hello, today we're going to go over how to use bands and what bands are used for and how to set them up. So let's just begin with what bands are. These are bands. They stretch. So as you stretch more and more, there's more resistance. So when you're lifting, it's accommodating resistance. So for example, you set it onto your squats. Let's say you're squatting 225 with the bands, right? At the bottom, it may feel like 225. As you come up at the top, it's going to get heavier and heavier because you're stretching it. It could be, I don't know, 350 pounds, depending on which band you use. And that's what accommodating resistance is. You're trying to learn how to build acceleration through the lift so the weight will feel a lot more powerful and more force. So in physics, force equals mass times acceleration. So the mass would be the weight that you're lifting, and acceleration is you speeding through that lift. So if you can generate more acceleration through the lift, you will apply more force into that lift. And that's what the bands are used for. They're very common for West Side powerlifting by Louie Simmons. But it's not just for geared lifting, it's also really great for just average athletes trying to build more speed and explosive power. It's great for powerlifting, great for endurance athletes, sprinting, strongman, like you name it. And these bands could be used for other exercises like pull-ups, but that's another video for another time. So I'm going to kind of go over what these bands are, just the names of it. These are the common ones, there's a lot more out there. This one is the micro mini band, it's the smallest one. It's about 15 to 30 pounds of resistance depending how you stretch it. And again, I don't really know the accurate resistance of each of the band, but you kind of get the gist of it. So this is the lightest one that they have, micro mini bands. This one is about a centimeter thick. This is the mini bands. This one is about an inch thick. This is the light bands. This one is about a 1.5 inch thick. This is the average band. And then this is 2 inch thick. This is the heavy band. And maybe 2.5, I don't know. Maybe when they cut my hair, it's like 2 inches. Yeah, it's about 2 inches. You can get these bands on either EliteFTS.com, RogueFitness.com, Amazon, some kind of CrossFit website. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. It'd be nice to though, but that's where you can get these bands from. You would need a pair of each. So I'm going to show you how to set these up. Okay, we're here in the squat rack. This is the peg. Now, this is just for like people that have the luxury of a powerlifting gym like me. These are pegs. At the bottom of the squat rack, there's holes. You need 2 pegs to squat. Okay, I'm going to show you why. Now, let's put this on first. If you only use 1 peg onto the squat for your squats, if you set that up, you see how loose that is? So I'm going to bring it down to show you how, like if I'm squatting with it. So if I'm squatting, notice how it's all loose? There's so much slack in this shit. That's not how you benefit from the squat. Okay, not this. So that's why you need 2 pegs. So, you can't do that. You need to choke it between 2 pegs. So I skipped 2 holes just because I'm short, and if you're taller, you might need to just skip 1, and if you're even shorter than me, you probably need to skip a few more. So I'm going to show you with this. Choke it, like so. Loop it inside the rings. And coming back over here. There we go, see? Tension, there's still tension at the bottom. And that's how you set it up for the squats. You can do this with all the bands. I'm going to use a light band to show you too. Same thing. Choke it. Okay, inside the ring. Okay, and if I have you doing double bands, so instead of choking it like that, then you would just need 1 peg, or 1 dumbbell, which I will show you later. Just 1, loop it like so, bring it up, and there you go, there's tension and there's no slack at the bottom. And this setup is for the peasants who don't have this part of the squat rack or the cage. So what I have here is just like 2 heavy dumbbells. They're 60 pounds. It should hold the band. And then I have 2 plates just to prevent like the dumbbells from rolling around. So just have them together, and these are my pegs. And then you just get the handles, and you can choke it and use it like pegs. Concept's the same, you're choking it, pulling it inside the barbell, like that. And if I have you doing a double, you just need one dumbbell, and you probably don't need the legs at all. So if I'm making you do double like mini bands or something, you just get rid of all this. Have one of like the 60-pound or maybe even like 80-pound dumbbell, and you're gonna double it like so. So you know how it's rolling. This is why you probably need something heavier. So this is obviously too light, but I can make it work because I'm lazy, and I can just grab this 25-pound plate, smash it or something like that. No, oh man, this is not working. There we go. That could work too. But obviously you would need a heavier dumbbell because if it's flying up in the air like that, it's pretty damn dangerous. So you can't be really lazy with this stuff. Okay, so now onto the squats. This is just against the double mini bands, but the concept is the same. Wherever you're squatting in, I want the bands to be pulling you directly down. So I'll show you this from here. Walk back. This is where you want to squat. So take a big breath here, squat down, come back up. So I don't want it like pulling you forward in like a good morning. You see how it's in front of me? Your mid-foot should be exactly where that band is. From there. And I want you to take a big breath. Don't take your sweet time to come up. I want you to explode up. That's where I want it. And then rack it back safely. Make sure you rack it back first before you let go. This is how we're gonna set up the reverse band squats. You would need one of these thingies at the top. There's no other way to set it up. You don't need a peg, but you do need some kind of like thing to wrap the band around. So just choke it here. Like so. Again, you want to bring it out to where you're going to squat, where the band is going to be directly straight. So obviously you wouldn't have it here because the barbell's right there, because you said you walk it out. So you need to bring it back just a little bit, like so. And then you're going to loop this inside the barbell. And be careful of this one because it will come off if the band resistance is too high, like that. You see, I'm not even touching it. So you would probably need to grab like some 45s and put that on right away before like both sides come off. Over here at the bench press, I have a heavy dumbbell. It's still that same 60 pounds. It's too light if you're using the heavier bands. So I'm gonna use the micro mini bands just to show you, but you'll probably need something heavier. So one dumbbell and two like plates to prevent it from sliding and moving. And for benching, it's always doubled. So doubled, again, you're just looping it under like that, and you're gonna hook it inside the barbell, like so. Now, when you set up, you don't wanna have the dumbbell set over here, because then it's gonna be pulling you forward, because you're gonna unrack it for the bench, and then it's gonna be a straight line from there. So let me show you, hopefully I don't die with just one band hooked on. So when I'm benching, it's gonna be right there. So you see how it's right to my side? That's where you want it. You don't want the band to be pulling you forward. You don't want the band to be pulling you down to the wrong path. It should be a straight right next to the side. And the concept is the same with the pegs. I'm pretty sure it's very self-explanatory. You have pegs in your gym. So I'm gonna take this out. So usually at powerlifting gyms, there's gonna be some holes at the bottom. Just choose the same, like where you would bench at. So you would have to experiment around to see which hole is right for you. So like if you're big and you're tall, you probably want to be like down here. If you're short like me and you don't have to unwrap too far, you're probably at the top one. So let's play around with it. Okay, so for deadlifts, we have pegs, like a J-hook thingy, the jiggy at the end of right here. So you can go one over just like that if you want. Or you can go double it. So you're gonna make a loop, come under this one, and then you're gonna go back to that first one. Even like that if you want to. And that's a lot of tension in this one. Now, I'm gonna show you how to do it without the pins or the hook. Oh, fucking bitch. Oh! So if you don't have the hooks in your gym, this is how you can set it up. You can also set it up with like the dumbbells and the plates, like the bench to prevent the dumbbell from moving, but you don't really do that. Just get a band, loop it across like that, just lay it on top, stand in here, make sure it's even, set, stand. That's how you can set it up. And if you're doing deficits with the bands, you can just hook this, like smash a 45-pound plate on, and do the same. Now, obviously, if you're doing sumo, you're going to be wider, and the bands wouldn't like benefit you, or you probably can't even pull it off the floor or set the bands to stretch that far. So when you're doing sumos, just need to loop this across like that, step in the hole, and just spread your legs wide apart like you're doing your normal setup. From there. And that's how you can set it up with the bands. Easier than setting up like dumbbells on like 4 stations of the dumbbells with 2 plates on each side. That means 4 dumbbells and 8 plates. That's a lot of stuff to move. This is a lot faster. So there you have it. Hope you guys like this band tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions. DM me, email me, whatever.